welcome to Gin Fun at winemastery.co.uk. My name is John Lightfoot. This is
Jane Whittaker.
And this is
Toby Whittaker.
Funny enough, it's called Whitakers Gin. I'm really not quite sure where they got the name. But anyway, guys, you've kind of marvellous. You can see the new distillery just behind us here. Still in the process of being commissioned. Still sort of a lot of work going on there. Yeah. But fantastic. And it's a beautiful rural. You can probably hear pick up maybe the sheep in the background. It's absolutely heaven here. It's absolutely beautiful, and one of the few days in Yorkshire where the sun is actually peeping through the clouds. So guys, obviously, you know, you producing gin. How long have you been producing gin?
Just coming up for 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah.
So if we go back 4 years, you didn't wake up one morning and say, I think I'll produce some gin tomorrow. I mean, what was the journey? How did you get to the decision to start a distillery?
Probably about 5 years before that, actually. The children grew up and left home, and we had a vacancy in our lives, and we thought we need to fill the void somehow. So yeah. I think the idea of setting up a small business was there for quite some time, and me being me, said to Jane, let's do microbrewing. You know, I love drinking beer. Let's have a go at that. And she thought, ridiculous idea. Anyway, I wore her down a bit and thought best thing to do is to do a course on how to make beer, and the course was brewing and distilling, and that was the route, that was the avenue.
Toby did have a background in chemistry before he did so he's quite that way inclined. He's quite geeky.
So we work as a pair. Jane's exceptionally good at cooking and tasting, and her taste buds are superior. I'm a bit of an anorak when it comes to playing with apparatus and kit and things like that. So as a pair, we feel comfortable doing the gin making.
Okay, so basically you know if it tastes right, and if it's not, you know to get to where it should be for it to taste right.
That's the idea. Yeah, that's the idea.
So you started 4 years ago. You went on the course, and then you said, you know, rather than brewing beer, we're going to go with gin.
Yeah.
The dream was to make whiskey.
The whiskey, yeah.
We were very mindful. We've both run businesses independently of each other, so we were very mindful of how it was going to be financed.
Yeah.
It wasn't an open checkbook that we wanted to throw at it, so we wanted it to grow organically. And gin, we both drink a lot of gin, so we thought, hey,
cut the overheads down a little bit anyway, if nothing else.
So I'll pay the duty mine.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. So when you started, did you start in the kitchen, or I mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
Before we did that, we did get all our licensing.
Okay.
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
There was no
Bought
distilling.
a 1 litre copper pot still off the internet for 99 quid. Still got it.
Really?
Yeah.
And used to buy bottles of vodka from the supermarket, tip them in, get the berries, throw them in, and distill, and come up with some horrible concoctions that really weren't.
We distilled everything.
Just you've got a trial and error, and then you start somewhere, and then you pull in all various sort of resources. Like we made good friends with David T. Smith, who's an author and a gin.
The spirits judge.
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
So he helped us quite a lot actually.
Well, he did a lot of tasting for us. We used to send him down boxes of samples that we'd made, and he would come back with different comments of what he thought. The biggest challenge was actually getting the botanical balance right for the juniper, coriander, and angelica. That was where the time was really spent. Getting that base right and having enough juniper for it to be a good gin. And then the signature botanicals came with distilling all sorts of things. We distilled cowslips and things from the hedgerow. We wanted our first gin to be very much reflect where we come from.
Okay.
And reflect hair well. So people sort of picked up the bottle, saw the hair, and thought, and the content sort of taste. And David Smith said it's quite a terroir gin. It tastes of where it comes from.
Yeah.
Which is why the hawthorn berries, the bilberries, bog myrtle, which gives it that lovely earthiness. So you can almost taste the soil. And again, we draw all our own water on site, so we've got that lovely natural water.
Is that from a well here?
We've got a spring and we've got a borehole.
Oh, wow.
Borehole. So it's basically, you probably can't see, but there's a big moor up there. So it's filtered all through the limestone and granite, and then we draw it out the water literally at the end of the building.
Right. Wow.
So yeah.
The noise in the background, there's a lot of training exercise. So army, military aircraft, I presume they've come over from Catterick or... yeah. So that's quite exciting.
They'll literally be like on the tree line.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's quite exciting seeing those.
And then you get the jets coming over, and you can hear them, and you don't see them for ages because obviously the sound is travelling faster than the.
Yeah.
There we are. It's a Chinook.
Yeah.
I think. Not that I know much about them.
Okay, so in terms, but how did you, so in terms of your taste, but obviously your taste might not be the great British public, or indeed, I suppose, the world is your oyster, the world market. How did you decide, well, actually, we like it, but how do we know that the public are going to like it?
That's a real tough one, because your instinct is just to make what you like.
Yes.
Which is not necessarily what everybody else wants to.
It's not been bad so far, though.
We've yeah. It's a really good question, and you obviously you need to keep the electric on. You need to pay the bills. You've got to have the sales, and so you've got to be sensible about your approach, and it's got to have a sort of appeal.
Well, we bought a lot of we tasted a lot of gins. We bought a lot of stuff and went out and tasted them, and very much sort of had very clear ideas of what gins we liked, and they were gins already in the market.
Yeah.
And also working at my local GP surgery, they all used to pile up and do mass tastings, which was always very helpful.
I bet you were very popular.
Very messy, but very helpful.
Yeah. So basically, you looked at what was already popular gins and said, well, okay, we know those tastes are selling, so we need to do something that's a little bit different from those, but not too far away that people are going to be find it objectionable and just targeted that way. Or was that not the case?
Not really. I mean, we did follow our hearts, actually.
Yeah.
And I think we were just pleasantly surprised that people actually like drinking it.
I think we had but also we've got a very clear idea of where say for instance, you've got a scale of 1 to 10, so you've got Gordon's being 1, which everybody says is crap now, but I mean they sell 80% of the gin that is sold worldwide, but they're doing something right.
Of course,
then you've got really wacky gins. So I think for our very first gin, we wanted to make sure that we were very much on the classic side.
Yes.
Sort of quite traditional.
Yeah.
But not only did it have to taste good in the glass, the aftertaste had to be exceptional, because if you don't have a good aftertaste, then someone's not going to want to go back and have another one.
No.
So there were lots of things that we concentrated on in the first instance to get things how we wanted them.
Okay, and so you've started from an older building, and you're just about to move into a new building. That must be, again, it's a leap of faith to sort of go from actually this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do for a living, and and not know if you're going to get the money back. So that's a big leap of faith. But in terms of investing something like the money that must be involved in creating a building like that again is a significant leap of faith. Confidence in yourself, whichever way you want to look at it.
I think this time last year. We threw our hat in the ring and applied for a grant, and we had no idea whether we were going to get it or not, and we were very fortunate that the Rural Development Fund provided us with a 40% grant to build that building.
Right.
And if it wasn't for that, then we probably wouldn't have.
A whole different story.
Yeah. So that's a huge help and support. But now it's up to us to deliver.
Yeah.
So we have a 40-foot container coming over from the States.
It's in the Atlantic Ocean.
It's on a sea at the moment.
Okay.
Apparently it's coming to Felixstowe, and then I've got to kind of sort it out from there, which is a bit of a mini challenge.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So it's quite daunting, because we're doing stuff that we're not tried and tested.
Yes.
But equally, it's measured with excitement. So you've got sort of trepidation, excitement, a new journey. We're hoping that people will, come here and do distillery tours and, see us operating.
Actually just see what Whitakers is all about.
Yeah.
And
I think that's...
we just want to kind of expand upon what we've started, and the whiskey production, and also.
So you are going into whiskey then?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
we're going to make neutral spirit as well, so we can have another angle
So I think we'll
on
be
the
one
gin.
of 12. We'll be the 12th only distillery in the UK that will
Something
be able
like
to
that.
make NGS.
Okay,
Yeah.
that, as I understand it, is the base product, the
Yeah.
pure
Yeah.
alcohol, effectively, of
You'll see those IBCs over there. We buy in.
IBCs. Sorry.
Yes. Now you're challenging me there.
Okay.
It's basically a great big.
C's for container. Okay. International. I looked it up the other day actually. But I can't remember. It's a well-known term. And it's 1,000 litres.
Okay.
And it's 96% neutral spirit. Ours is from grain.
Okay.
You can get it from molasses. You can get it from
Grapes.
wine, grapes. Anyway, arguably, it does make a difference to what the gin tastes like.
Okay.
So, what we're going to definitely experiment with is making our own gin from our own neutral spirit.
Wow.
So the barley will have come from a farm in the vicinity.
Yeah.
You know, that concept of the grain to the glass is what we're after.
Wow. And then you mentioned that there are 12 other people doing the base product. Presumably not all of those 12 actually produce gin.
Oh no, but it's
No, but what I mean is there any others that produce from start to finish in the UK, those 12? I'm just thinking it might be something
I think there
completely
are.
unique.
I mean, no, it's not. We're basically seeing what other people do and think, I like that. Copper Rivet Distillery, I think they do it.
I think,
Right.
yeah.
So I think there are places that do it. It's just, most people think you're a crackpot if you're going to do that because it's so.
Why would you do it? Why would you do it?
Why would you do that? You can buy that in for £1, whatever it is. And
Yeah.
why make your own? It's like, well, why do anything?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Because
But don't you think though that a little bit of this is to do with Whittakers, although we produce what hopefully is a beautiful gin brand, producing beautiful London dry gins that are selling well in the market. We want to cement ourselves not just as a gin brand but as actual distillers.
Okay.
So gin is about rectification, so it's redistillation
Yeah.
of neutral grain spirit, water and botanicals to make your London dry gin. But for us, it's the craft is really important. It's not just about sticking a label on a bottle or having them delivered in bottles already done.
Yeah.
We actually, Toby's the distiller. We develop all our recipes ourselves. We don't have anyone coming in and doing it for us. So the passion is actually in making it, and making whiskey now is, you've got to make beer to make whiskey, so that's an art form in itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting times.
Very, very, very exciting times. Very, very exciting times.
Very hard work.
I can imagine. It's you never actually leave it. It's 24/7. I imagine.
It is.
So, how many brands do you? Bottles. How many different gins do you have in your range?
It's actually got 5 main gins, London dries, that we do. And
Okay.
we do. We've got the original. We've got the pink particular. We've got the Navy Strength, which is a sort of lower volume, and we've got the Winter Solstice and the Summer Solstice. So those last two are kind of seasonal.
We do make them clearly slow, which is very much like a sort of a bit of a grappa. Very low volume. Some people absolutely love it. Some people really hate it. It's just one of those things.
Well, I think a lot of people either hate or love grappa, so it probably just goes in with
it
that.
does.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's a tough call because you just want to make a different gin every other week. The problem with that is how do you sort of organise yourselves with different labels and all the rest of it. So we have to be realistic and sort of.
But we're very fortunate. We do have opportunities. We're not contract distillers by any means, but we're very fortunate. We make a beautiful cassis gin for Fortnum & Masons.
Oh,
So
really?
that's
Yeah.
sort of,
Wow.
That took
Wow.
a lot of,
Yeah, no, very
developing.
pleased.
Yeah, that is a feather in your cap.
And
Yeah.
we also make gin for the Harewood Food and Drink Project.
Okay.
We make the Greystone gin, and that was great fun. We went to Harewood and foraged for the mulberries off the tree and the elderberries and things, and trying to, because they were pioneers in pineapple growing
Yeah.
in their hothouses, so we wanted to incorporate pineapple in there. So that was really good fun doing that recipe.
Yeah, I bet it was. In fact, we're going to see them in about a month's time, I think.
Oh,
so
fab,
yeah. So it'll be good.
Yes.
And they mentioned that you actually produce their gin, so it's not something they hire from, but it's just based around their actual botanicals that they have that they grow. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they've got the elderberries and the mulberries, and then of course pineapple, which they're famous for pioneering in the past. So we had to incorporate some pineapple into their gin.
Excellent. Well, okay. Well, if we can we actually taste some of this lovely stuff? Okay, we'll be back with you in a second. Okay, and so we're back. So the really exciting bit for me is here we are, the tasting. So what are we going to taste? What have we got to taste?
Well, the first one we're going to taste is the original,
Okay.
which was our
Thank you.
Our very first gin. So this gin has a strong juniper-led gin,
Okay.
which incorporates the base botanicals are juniper, coriander, and angelica. So very, very simple, but very, very well balanced. And then we've got bilberries, hawthorn berries, bog myrtle, garden thyme, and a little hint of fresh lemon citrus.
Wow, there's a lot in there.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. That's lush, isn't it? It's lovely. And what percentage is this? Is this
42.
again? There's not that. Sometimes you take a 42% product and you go, "Ooh," and your eyes start to water. It's very smooth. It's very smooth.
All our gins are unfiltered, so we can't bottle straight away. So basically, they have to, after Toby has distilled and then cut them with water, they have to sit in tanks to settle, because basically the oil and water has to mix, all the essential oils. So what's it about 8, 9, 10 weeks before we can bottle. Often they will go cloudy when you put them over ice, because the oils then come back out of solution. It's purely a visual thing, nothing to do with the taste.
And yours are not the only ones to do that, are they?
No,
Yes.
no. It's,
Many do. Yeah. Excellent. That is lovely. Can I just try to drop a splash, just a tiny
Yeah.
splash of tonic, just to? Ooh, probably too much, Bill. That does change. It's sweeter. Obviously, I put in quite a lot there. There's probably 1/4 gin, 3/4 tonic. But given that, in terms of that dilution, the taste still comes through. It's not lost, is it? It's not swamped. It's still punches through.
That's deliberate, so we don't filter the gin, so we're trying to keep as much flavour through the essential oils as possible, which means it does have a cloudy issue. You put ice with it, the temperature goes down, it comes out of solution, the oils come out of solution, that's all it is. It's just the essential oils. But it gives you the right flavour.
and
that's the important thing.
And it keeps the nose as well. So when you put it doesn't die when you put your tonic water in.
No.
And tonic water, we highly rate. This is our tonic water of choice, Double Dutch.
Double Dutch.
They are. We know the girls. Is it Racer and Joyce de Haas? They launched their business very much at the same sort of time that we did.
Okay.
I like their products because I love their packaging, but also the contents. We tend to use a plain tonic to go with all our gins, because I make gin and I don't have a cupboard full of different flavoured tonic waters. These are, especially the Indian tonic water, it complements rather than adding in another flavour. Because Toby and I think we're in agreement with me, simplicity is often the nicest way of doing things, and the same goes with all our recipes. Sometimes simple is, don't overcomplicate things.
Well, I was saying to Toby earlier that there seem to be two camps of tonic. One is that keep it nice and simple. So obviously the distiller's done all the hard work in getting the taste just right, and then you swamp in a flavoured tonic and it just ruins it, takes it away. And the other camp is, well, actually, that helps people get out the flavours that they need from their gin to make the gin and tonic that they personally prefer. And I mean, I'm in the nice and simple camp, and I guess you guys are too.
Yeah.
The plain tonic water, so you can taste the actual gin itself. would be my preference, although I would be respectful to other opinions
Yeah, of
because
course.
it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
But for me, you know, I want people to taste gin that I've just made as opposed to
The tonic water.
altering it. You know,
Yeah.
it becomes another lovely drink, hopefully. But I want you to taste the gin.
Well, I think there are a lot of tonic waters out there that actually, if I wasn't drinking, I would drink as a soft drink on its own.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't dream of putting it with a spirit
Yeah.
because it's so highly flavoured. But as like Toby said, everybody's different in
Yeah, of course.
what they're looking for, which is great.
It's fine, yeah. Gives us diversity. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so next one.
The next one is Pink Particular. So
Pink Particular.
Pink Particular is is a contemporary gin. Oh, just quickly,
Yes.
the one you've just tasted actually won Best International Gin in America last year.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
It was.
Fantastic.
We went over to Portland to pick up our award. Out of 250 gins, we were the only gin to be awarded a double gold medal.
Fantastic.
So,
Congratulations, guys.
It
Congratulations.
was immense, yes.
Yeah, I bet you're very proud.
Very much so. So this gin is a contemporary gin. It's still strong juniper-led gin, but it has signature botanicals of pink hibiscus flowers, pink peppercorns, cardamom, and again with a little hint of fresh lemon citrus. So,
Okay.
tuck in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So it's a lot more peppery on the nose, this one, than it is on the palate.
Yeah, there's more. First of all, it was like a floral, and then the juniper kicked in afterwards.
There's a peculiar ingredient in here, which is the cardamom. It's a very spicy aspect to it.
Well, you get a little bit of mild heat,
Yes.
a little bit of mild spice.
Yeah.
But nothing is sort of overpowering.
Yeah, I wanted. It's not the correct words. I don't know what to call it, but I'm sure John will, when we're back in the cellar, will be able to sort of distinguish it. But I want to say smoky. It's not smoky. I'm just trying to think. I can't get my head around what that is, but it's very nice. It's very nice.
Well, we'd be interested to hear what you guys, when you do your tastings back at the lunch, sort of let us know what you think.
Oh, we will. That's very nice. Just try again. A little splash of tonic to see what that.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, that says something, doesn't it? If you, I'm sure you've tasted a few of them, and if it's still, that's nice. That says a lot of the product.
There's a couple of stories there actually, and it was November 2017.
Oh God.
We sat down at the kitchen table.
It was our anniversary, and we'd got back, and we'd come back from, and said Toby, Toby said, "Do you fancy a gin and tonic?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, do you know what? Can I have a pink?" And he said, "Yeah." So.
Poured the gin and tonic. Me being me, didn't think too much about it, and I just drank it. And Jane said, "It's the wrong gin. You've just poured me an original." And I said, "No. The label says it's pink. It's definitely pink." Anyway, she was right.
As usual.
As always.
I just actually couldn't believe it, and we'd had an error. We'd had 300 bottles of original labelled as pink and vice versa, and they'd been pinged out all over the UK just before Christmas, and we had to recall the whole lot.
Oh no!
It was a potential disaster, but we were very fortunate that it hadn't. Well, we caught it fairly early, but it just, a clear liquid, and you've got people working for you, and somebody's busy and they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
So we put controls in place to prevent that happening.
Yeah.
But you evolve and you live and you learn, and that wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. I guess, as you say, if you'd been further down the road and it hadn't taught you that lesson, it was 3,000 bottles out there rather than 300. Then but
exactly.
We do because we're small batch. We do drink our gin all the time. It's got to be done.
Got to be done. I'm sure. I'm sure. Someone's got to do it.
Well, this is true.
Okay, so on to the next one then.
Well, the next one is our absolutely brand spanking new release, which is
really?
called Summer Solstice.
So when was this actually launched?
This won't be ready until I think the end of May, first week in June.
2019.
We've made it. It's just we're waiting for it to clear.
Okay. Wow.
This was one of our test bottles which we did, so that's why we're sort of
okay.
And now this one is it just reminds me of sunshine. It's pink grapefruit and pomegranate.
Okay.
So it's really simple recipe, but very, very effective.
You know, there's a smell. I think I've had it with one other gin before, and it just links in my brain. You know, this makes it sound awful, and as I've explained in the other one, it isn't. It's this. But you know, paddling pools. When you're a kid, you have those paddling pools you pump up, and you get that sort of plasticky smell.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. It's not quite the same, but for some reason in my brain, it makes a link. I'm sure it's not.
Summertime, probably. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I think I prefer summertime.
and a
Plastic pool, yeah.
plastic.
Yeah. It doesn't taste like that.
Poly.
It just,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, it doesn't taste. Yeah, as I said,
I think we need to cut that bit out.
but it's like sometimes with wine, you're talking about wines and things, you know, taste like leather and things, and you're thinking, well,
It's an
that doesn't actually-
association.
yeah,
They evoke memories, don't they?
yeah, or cats, like Sauvignon Blanc,
lovely.
cat's pee. Well, actually, you know, you can taste in it, but it's not like drinking.
It's
cat's
not
pee.
good for marketing.
No, no. That's delicious. Yeah. That is very nice. So, will you repeat that next year, or will you actually?
That's a good question.
Depends
I'd
how many
like to,
bottles
I'd
we
like
sell
to
and how many
tweak it.
labels we've got.
Yeah,
I just think it's quite fun to tweak these things and
Yeah.
bring out, you know, 2019 version, a 2020
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Still call it Summer Solstice. The early thoughts.
Yeah, of
who
course.
knows?
Well, the thing is, we the winter solstice, which is what you're going to taste next. That was only supposed to be a seasonal gin.
okay.
It's been such a fantastic seller that in actual fact we're going to produce it all year round. So it might be that the summer solstice gets such a good reception
Yeah.
that we do just continue to make it exactly as it is.
Okay.
Because we're mindful of, we don't really want to bring out any more gins at the moment. We're going to do some small batch. We've planted a lot of fruit trees here this year. So we're going to make some gins with the fruits that we grow here. But we're not that's going to be a very limited edition. Join the gin club and you'll have the first pick of anything that we make.
So, what is the gin club?
We've got the Whitakers Gin Club, which you can sign on to if you go onto our website, whittakersgin.com. The thought was, you know, obviously you've seen the success of all these. Well, the craft gin club is you know, fantastic. So we thought we could offer something similar.
But this is free. This is you know, we want to sort of give people that really have a genuine following for us, you know, who want to follow us.
Yeah.
Like we did about 2 months ago, we did a one-off promotion, and you got 20% off anything online. Which was a really good saving. When the shop opens, you'll also be able to use that voucher, that promotion code in shop.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to give people back a little bit that follow us and you know, and want to see what we're up to. So they will get first dibs on any sort of limited edition things that we make.
I suppose we're just wanting to communicate with you know with our and consumers.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to be you know, sort of unknown, or we want to be available. We want the feedback. We want direct contact. Like, Toby, I don't like that batch number 157. Something's wrong with it. We need to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you know, have you got anything special around the corner? Well, actually, yeah, we've got some crabapple gin that we're making that will only be a few hundred bottles. Do you want a bottle? You know, this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to a big, you know, retailer, and you just, they're not interested in a few bottles of gin, but our customers, you know, that
But
will
also it gives people an opportunity as well with the shop and things, because we obviously have a lot of fresh, we use all fresh grapefruit peel in our summer solstice. So we've got all these massive, and we use a lot of grapefruit in there. So we've got all the insides of all these beautiful grapefruits.
Yeah.
What do you do with them? So we're going to make grapefruit jelly with them, so that you can buy grapefruit jelly. The lemons that we use, we have free range hens here, and we're probably going to make some with the lemon juice, make some lemon curd and things like that.
Fantastic.
So that we're trying to utilise. We've got somebody locally who might take all our juniper and all our spent berries to feed to pigs.
Okay.
So feed pork, you know, juniper pork.
We're not having the pigs here because Jane won't allow us to kill them.
But I might have some pet pigs here. So,
A discussion to be had later, I guess, guys.
So, yep.
So we've got someone else that needs to speak to Toby, I think. Just a second, we're back with you. Management decision over. back to tasting. So the final tasting.
We're going to do Winter Solstice now.
Winter Solstice.
Now, Winter Solstice was inspired by making my Christmas cake.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Not by Game of Thrones.
No.
Winter is coming.
No, the Dark Knights were. But, no, it was. I wanted to use. We were looking to make another gin, and we were looking at the Winter Solstice, and I just said to Toby, I said it would be really fantastic to distill the ingredients, obviously not eggs and flour and stuff, but the main ingredients of a Christmas cake. So we distilled everything off separately. So we distilled the raisins, the sultanas, and the currants.
Wow.
We've added in some bitter orange, some star anise to give it some heat,
Wow.
and some cloves and cinnamon. So the trick was to get everything absolutely bang on balance wise. Now this one is actually it's lovely with tonic water. It really brings the orange out. But if you want really orangey,
Yeah.
I know there's a couple of tonic brands that are actually doing like a clementine tonic,
Okay.
which really it brightens it. So it's a lovely summer drink. It's not just for the winter. And I think this is one of the reasons why it's selling so well, because people are actually realising that it's just there's a lot you can do with it.
Yeah.
And serve it with a ribbon of orange peel or even a slice of fresh orange.
Yeah.
And it's just really fresh.
Okay.
There's another reason as well. I thought it would be a good idea to do this. And that's Jane got a Christmas cake, and instead of putting sherry in it or brandy or port, we put gin in it.
Really?
And it is divine.
Yeah.
And so that was a sort of and that had something to do with this development of this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So try that at home.
He's getting your recipe book going as well.
Soak the fruit. Well, actually, I might make. I quite fancy making some fruit cakes for the distillery, for like the little tea shop, and actually soaking the fruit in all the different gins. So you get like a.
Oh wow! Yeah.
The Winter Solstice fruit cake, and then. So we'll see.
Wow.
I'll do that in my spare time.
Yeah. That smell. Yeah, I can smell the orange for sure. Oh, it's delicious. And the thing, a nice orange, but it's not cloying in any way. It's nice and crisp and clean and nice clear palate. It's very nice indeed. Congratulations, guys. Those are fantastic gins. Wow. Well, I guess that probably rounds it up for us. I'll be sorry to go. This is a lovely day. It's a lovely venue, lovely people. If you want to try their gin, I'll put the down below. You'll see the website. I'm sure you've got where you can buy it and locally on your website in terms of where people maybe get hold of it. So we'll see you in the next one. Until then, gin.
Thank you.